Hello folks, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about this particular tarot deck. It's called The Tarot. Have you heard of it? Now over here on YouTube we refer to this one as the Hoi Polloi. It says Hoi Polloi on the back of the box. And I am meeting a friend in maybe 2 hours, I think. I'm gonna have myself a little beer. And you pour yourself the drink that you want to have, okay? And we're gonna dive into this deck. Cheers. Okay, I'm a lucky gal because I was gifted this deck. These are the two extra cards. I really like this box. It's a different box than what we usually see, right? Usually we see the very game. I mean, this also looks like a game, but it's also kind of like a chest. We see the kind of light orange or dark yellow, I'm not sure, box with at least one of the cards that are showing is the Empress or the Sun card. Now I have this one, and it says, Hoi Polloi Incorporated presents the tarot, key to your future. Since the Middle Ages, people have consulted the tarot cards, with their mysterious and intriguing symbols and numbers, for the answers to their fate. These beautiful full-color tarot cards, they are beautiful, were inspired by decks used in the Middle Ages. We have some spreads that I want to at least share with you because I haven't had the chance to go through this wonderful looking booklet just yet. I said when I unboxed this wonderful gift that I was going to read the booklet, and I haven't done so yet, so this is my chance. I'm keeping I'm keeping the deck in this little like almost linen bag. I'm not quite sure, maybe it's just cotton. I have yet to make a box for this deck because I'm not going to keep it in the big box, and I like to keep my decks in boxes. It just protects them more, no? So it's in great condition. I've had to micro trim the tops of this deck. Yes, very scary story, but if you want to see it, I'll link it. This has copyright 1972. So this is an out-of-print deck in case you don't know, which means you can no longer just buy it at the store. You would need to search on eBay, for instance. But I do know, is that still in print, that there's the Moon Baby Tarot, which is very similar to this one, but it has a different color scheme. It's very cleaned up. It's a bit more of a modern, refreshed take on this vintage, clearly 70s deck. Now, I like this version. Okay, I do. I really love this deck. It has great energy for me. Let me show you my favorite Rider-Waite-Smith. Because even though I love this, I love the whole mega super colors, I still really like the Centennial for, I don't know, it looks like the original one, you know? It feels like I own a Pam box A or B or whatever. Because once you just get rid of the copyright, that's it. You just have a beautiful, perfect, old-looking Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Looks like the original when they first came out. These were, of course, the original drawings by Pamela Coleman Smith, and this is what they did with this deck. I can definitely appreciate that. In the couple, the person on the right and the person in the dress has longer hair, and I mean, it's such a beautiful, very 70s looking rainbow. It doesn't even have all the colors. It's very reminiscent actually to me of the Kodak videotapes. Yeah. I actually have my own little theory regarding this deck. Interesting. I don't actually know if it's interesting. That's why I didn't make an entire video dedicated to just that theory. But let me just get out all the queens. Here we go. We have the original Rider-Waite-Smith queens. We all know and love them. But then we have the Hoi Polloi queens. And something is looking a little different, which we don't see in other court cards. All the other court cards are proportioned really well, but all the queens in the Hoi Polloi, they have really tiny heads and huge suits in their hands. Like a huge cup, huge pentacle. Do you see what I'm saying? And so my theory is, look at her tiny head. My theory is, since it's not really a theory, it's just something that I made up, I know that, but since the queens are supposed to be the heart of the element, they understand the element with their feelings, they are the middle of it, that is why their element is so big. And maybe even to emphasize that, what is this light? Maybe even to emphasize that their heads became a little smaller in the drawing. I don't know, it's just a funny thing that I noticed. Definitely not worth dedicating a whole video to. But you can see in other court cards, it's just normal sized. Anyway, here we have the little booklet. Man has always been fascinated by the mystery of what the future holds. Through the ages, men have devised many systems of divining the future. Some men looked to the stars and founded astrology. Others believed that the answers to one's life were to be found in his hands and developed palmistry. Tarot found the answers in cards. I unfortunately have to close those blinds. This is how good my blinds work. Anyway, Tarot found the answers in the cards. Cards bearing symbols and numbers that in their innumerable combinations revealed the secrets of a person's fate. Tarot, which rhymes with pharaoh, is an anagram of the Latin word rota, meaning wheel, with an added T. The origins of the tarot cards are lost in the mists of the Middle Ages, possibly even earlier. The earliest definite evidence of tarot cards is found in northern Italy in the last half of 14th century. Just look at this fancy moon. The mysterious cards, with their suggestive symbols and arcane meanings, spread throughout Europe. They were used both for predicting the future, usually by fortune tellers who were believed blessed with supernatural gifts in interpreting the cards, and for games. Tarot cards were in fact the forerunner of modern-day playing cards. Is that a fact? I thought it was the other way around. I thought the majors were definitely arcane tarot, original tarot, 22 cards, maybe more, and all the minors, including the courts, were actually playing cards at first. I don't know, but it's fun, right, to read this stuff. The tarot card in this set are an authentic reproduction of decks from the Middle Ages. No attempt has been made to modernize them. The meanings of the cards given in this booklet are ancient meanings passed down through the generations, and the spreads shown are traditional layouts used for centuries in reading the messages of the tarot cards. Rules for a number of intriguing games and solitaire games are also included. Cool. I really hope you can't hear that alarm going off in my street. It's driving me nuts. It's a high-pitched noise, and please somebody just annihilate that scooter, all right? I don't care anymore. Okay, going a little bit ahead in the booklet. Interpreting or reading the messages of the cards in particular spreads is the essence of tarot communication. Look, here you can actually see what they were talking about. Tarot or rota or Torah in that wheel right there. Concentration and practice, my friends, are the keys to accurate tarot readings. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be blessed with psychic powers to decipher the signal of the card. The person questioning the tarot cards is known as the querent. The person interpreting the cards is known as the reader. You are both querent and reader if you are laying out the cards for yourself. It's so cool that I didn't know, at this point already, they were saying that people could read for themselves. I thought maybe it was a time thing, through the decades that basically said for the longest time that you couldn't read for yourself. I actually thought the last generation was still saying these things. Maybe it kind of comes and goes, these types of things. If you are doing a reading for yourself, clear your mind and concentrate fully on the question you want answered. If you are doing a reading for another person, think of him and his life as you know it. Be sure to concentrate on the question and not the answer you might hope for. Do not try to outguess the cards, for you are likely to end up with nothing more than what you started with. That is so cool. Try to be as unconscious as possible, receptive to anything. Even before Freud explicated the concept of the subconscious, it is obvious that tarot and other occult systems dealt with regions of the mind or existences in the mind that were not immediately available to the conscious mind. Communicating via the tarot telegraph is essentially a subconscious link-up between the minds of reader and querent, with the cards serving as a catalyst. Isn't this cool, the Five of Pentacles without any snow falling? Tarot cards act as a means of conversing with that subconscious part within us that many people believe holds knowledge of the future. It may well be that the kinds of intuitive leaps that one makes in reading the tarot cards are nothing supernatural at all, but merely mental shortcuts to the knowledge or predictions that our conscious minds could puzzle out in due time from all the bewildering evidence at hand. Shuffling. Shuffling the tarot cards is very important for successful readings. The querent always shuffles. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I shuffle the cards because I know some people can't shuffle, and cards are valuable. Yeah, spiritual tool, okay? Even the decks that we just use for clients. I shuffle, then when it's face to face, I spread out the cards, I fan out the cards so that they can pick their own cards. So at the end of the reading, basically, if they say, they never do, but if they were to say they don't like their reading, then I can always say, I'm just reading the cards and you picked your cards. Anyway, by doing so, he puts his own personal touch on the cards and creates a rapport between the cards and his subconscious. Shuffle the cards thoroughly. Take all the time you need until the deck feels right. I mean, I see what they are saying when the querent is supposed to shuffle the cards. That means they put their energy into it, but I just have my own way of doing it by now. Oh, okay. And here's the very traditional drawing, meaning drawing card. Cut the deck into 3 stacks with the left hand, shuffle each stack, and finally replace them into 1 stack as you desire. Repeat this procedure 3 times. What work? Man, just shuffle, cut the deck once, and pick your cards. It's not necessary that all cards remain in the same direction, meaning some of them are upside down, right? I guess. I've stopped doing that. Hand the cards to the reader, then laying out the cards. The reader now lays out the cards in 1 or 2 patterns. The portrait spread is used to outline a person's past, present, and future. And then the prediction spread is used to answer a specific question. This is, I must say, a pretty good beginner's pamphlet, little booklet, So the portrait spread, they say it's a portrait spread, but it's the Celtic cross. Let's look at the prediction spread. Use this spread when you want to ask a specific question as to whether something will come to pass and its outcome. The querent shuffles the cards exactly as before, concentrating on a question about his future. Then he pulls 15 cards at random. The reader takes these 15 cards and lays them out face down in the sequence indicated. So this would be illustration number 2. 15 cards, guys. That might be some deep work. The reader then turns over the cards in the following order. So you turn over card 1, 2, and 3. These represent the querent's present environment. Turn over cards 4, 5, and 6. These represent the elements of the querent's question. 7, 8, and 9. These indicate obstacles to be surmounted. Then 10, 11, 12. These suggest what will come to the querent unbidden. 13, 14, 15, these indicate what the querent can expect to achieve. This might be random, but here's a note. The 9 of Cups is known as the wish card. I still see it in that way. That's pretty cool. This is the 10 of Pentacles. It has nothing to do with it. I don't know if you've already seen the 9 of Cups. But it's known as the wish card. It's the querent's question. If the querent's question involves a wish, and this card appears in position 1 through 6, an early realization of the wish is indicated. Getting into specifics then. If the wish card appears in positions 7, 8, or 9, the wish will probably not come to pass. Oh, here we go. I guess my wish won't come to pass. If it appears in cards 10 through 15, the wish will be delayed, but it will eventually be realized. If the card does not occur in the 15-card spread, no message as to timing is indicated. So they very randomly use the 9 of Cups, the wish card, as a timing card in this particular spread. The portrait spread and the prediction spread are the most important of tarot layouts. In case you did not know. Now you know. This is very important information. Many other spreads have been developed over the years, and if you care to investigate them, you may consult your local library or bookstore. Oh, I miss libraries. The authentic tarot cards supplied in this game may be used for any tarot spread. Okay, good. They do give us permission to use these cards, as I do now. I might take a look at that prediction spread, though. Just for fun. Then we have a whole list of meanings. You will become increasingly familiar with the meanings as you do more and more readings, and you will probably be surprised at how soon you know the deck by heart. In making any reading, think of the meanings as a kind of alphabet or vocabulary that acts as triggers to the mind. I like that. I like to see learning tarot as learning another language. I also like what they say here. Do not simply read the words listed when you interpret the cards, but construct sentences and concepts out of the words that seem to have the most bearing and suggestiveness on the question at hand. That's pretty cool. Okay, for the minor arcana, this is pretty fun. Each suit of the minor arcana represents a broad area of human life and also a season of the year and a length of time. So here they say that cups are the season spring and length of time days. Pentacles is winter and years. Swords is summer and months. Wands is fall and weeks. I have pentacles are winter for sure. For me, actually, swords is spring. Then wands is summer because it's fire. And then what's left is cups, which is fall. These time elements may cast additional light as to when an event has occurred, will occur, or how long it has been occurring. And then here we have tarot games. Since tarot cards were the origins of today's playing cards, still not convinced that's the order of events, but okay. They are easily adapted for use as games. In fact, several games using tarot cards were invented in the Middle Ages. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess tarot at first, even the tarot, the 22 arcana, were used as a game. Or were they? There are a lot of mysteries. There's some occult knowledge. They still have a fascination for today's world. We have Tarot. This is a game for 2 or more players using the full 78 card deck. You can pause the video to read this yourself. Then we have Tarot Stops, Tarot Risk, and then using tarot cards for common card games. You can use the tarot cards to play any game requiring the modern 52 card deck by simply removing the major arcana cards and the 4 pages, assuming that the knights are jacks. For wild cards, use the Fool and or Magician. There's a Tarot Solitaire game and Napoleon Solitaire. And that's the whole booklet. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a lot of fun for me to just take a look at this little booklet and the deck. I adore the deck. You guys know, especially I guess over on Patreon, that I use this deck a lot for readings. So, I mean, let me know what you think. If you want to see some more, I think I showed everything that is in the book. What do you think of my very unfinished theory of the queens in the Hoi Polloi deck? Do you think it holds any meaning? Was it an accident? I don't know. Either way, I want to thank you for being here, and I wish you a very good weekend full of fun. I'm gonna go and meet my friend, so I'll see you all next week, okay? Bye.